Then in Africa, I started, they became to know me and they took me as their son, especially in Kenya. During independence celebration of Kenya, 1963, I was invited by Tom Mboya. Tom Mboya was one of our very famous politicians in Kenya at the time, and he was in charge of the festivities for independence of Kenya. And I remember him calling me when I was in London, and he was at Cumberland Hotel in Marble Arch. He called me and he said, "Sal, look, I'd like you to come and see me." I said, "Okay." I knew him.
You know, Tom told me, "Sal, I'm inviting Belafonte and I'm inviting Makeba, the festival, and I want you to sing with them." Well, I couldn't ask for anything better than that, because Harry Belafonte was big, Makeba was big, and I was small. So I was hoping maybe I would try and be as big as I can get by working with them. So I performed with them. Well, we did two balls. One was Civic Ball. That's the one I performed at the City Hall. They performed in the other side where the university was. But we became friends. And I even went to New York. Harry Belafonte invited me to New York and I went to meet them. But I was not an addict to music really, because if I wanted, I should have stayed in New York and tried to do things, but I wasn't an addict. It didn't really push me that much. But anyway, cut the story short, we became friends. I became friend with Makeba a lot. Makeba even sang that, "Oh malaika, nakupenda malaika, nami nifanyeje, kijana mwenzio." Now that song, Makeba sang it, but she heard it from me, because I was the first guy. The song was written here, it's not here in Zanzibar, it was written in Kenya. But it was not written by a guy called Fadhili Williams, no. The song was written by a Tanzanian boy called, oh my God, I'm getting old, you see.
Was it by Grant Charo?
Gideon Charo.
Yes.
And how he wrote the song, I'll tell you. There used to be a place in Nairobi where there used to be a guy selling ice cream, a Muzungu guy, a European guy, an English guy. And at the back, he had a music instruments there. So a lot of musicians used to go there and busk, play the guitar, drums. Now Gideon came there with this song. This is a Tanzanian song, but like it's not a Kenyan song.
Oh.
Now, yeah, it is not really, a lot of people know, but it is not a Tanzanian song. It is not a Kenyan song. It's a Tanzanian song. Now, when Gideon came, we started getting friendly, I knew him. Then he said to me, "Sal, I have a song for you." The guy, poor guy, did the song. Now, they didn't do it the way I did it. They did it, "Malaika, nakupenda malaika." That's the way they did it. "Malaika, nakupenda malaika." That's how they did it. I changed it. I went, "Oh, malaika, nakupenda malaika, nami nifanyeje, kijana mwenzio, nashindwa." Now I changed it, which Malaika, which Miriam Makeba liked that version of mine, and she sang it that way. But then, They're in America. They sing a song. They made more money than I did. So I didn't make that much money in Kenya. But I'm happy. Poor, but happy. Tell me.
You're rich. You know, let me tell you something. You
Tell
know,
me.
Bob Marley says, what's richness? Richness is the happiness you have in your heart. Richness is the family you have around you. Richness is the legacy you leave behind. Those are the riches. And you are very rich with that, Mr. Sal Davis.
That I can't even fault to you because I am rich with that. Look at these little monkeys that I have here. I have 5 of them. 5. When he saying, yeah, your little monkeys. 5 of them I have here.
Yes.
And they do nothing but cost me money. That's all they do.
Yeah, but that's the beauty. Now, let me just get to another point. You have clarified something that I argued every day on the radio whenever I was on air. Whenever Miriam Makeba, and she said, this next song comes from Tanzania. I faded the song and I said, sorry, it comes from Kenya by
No, you're wrong. She was right.
So I thank you for that. Imagine I was doing that all my life on radio. Thank you for that. Now, let's go to Uhuru. Uhuru, Kenya, 1963.
Yeah.
Uhuru.
Yeah.
Kenyatta.
Yeah.
That song, did you sing it in the stadium on that day of Uhuru? Or was it recorded abroad and brought for...
I recorded it in Holland with Philips Records.
Yeah.
There used to be Philips Record at the time. And I went to record it in a place called Barn. Philips have a big company, not in Barn, Hilversum. I went to record it in Hilversum. And then I took it to Africa. And the backside of that song is where Makini came from.
Yes. And that's the song I fell in love.
And the reason why Makini came big, because they banned that song. Uhuru song was banned only because there was a revolution here in Zanzibar.
Yes.
And I had come up with an idea which nobody actually knew about it. They hadn't even the politicians themselves hadn't thought about it. I said, Afrika Mashariki Yungane, kwa mikono mine, Nyerere Obote, Kenyatta Shamte. Now Shamte was deposed.
Yes.
When Shamte was deposed, the song became obsolete. They asked me to redo the song and I said, no, thank you. Africa is your problem. If you want to have revolutions after revolutions, I'm not going to bother with it. So I didn't redo the song. But then the Makini, the backside, Makini became famous.
When I came to Voice of Kenya after graduating at the Institute of Communication, and then I went for a stint at the University of Nairobi, and I looked for Sal Davis. And what I looked for was Hayaya Uhuru, Hayaya. The chief librarian, Daudi Kanja, is listening to this. Miriam was too young at that time. Daudi Kanja, the chief librarian, Mrs. Monica Kabeberi, who was heading that library in the Voice of Kenya, had put on that song, not suitable for broadcast.
Yeah.
I took the 45, went to the studio, and I played the second side. And I said, wow. And that is how I fell in love with Makini. And I made Makini my signature tune. Every time I finished any of my show, Breakfast Club in the morning, or the request program just for the asking, or Big Time when like somebody like Daudi Kanja was in school listening to me doing Big Time, I finished it with Makini. And I
that's good. But that was the first bilingual song also. You know, it was a bilingual. I made it because Makini was Makini is Swahili was, but then I made it. I thought nobody will really like the song in Swahili only, so let me make it a bilingual. So that's why I added the English version into the Swahili version.
Good.
You know, and I kind of enjoyed that because a lot of people sort of understood that. I even added a lot of things in Malaika because in Malaika it was only Swahili. I turned it into Baile. I said, angel, I really love you, my angel. Now, angel, as you know, is Malaika. So, oh, my angel, I really love you, my angel. What more can I do? I'm in love with you. I'm poor. I got no money, but I would love to marry you. Now, I made it a bilingual, which I thought people enjoyed, and people did enjoy it. And everywhere I went, where I did a show, I said I'd like to sing a song from my country. Understand? So that you know where I'm from. Now, if I'm in Germany, England, I would do that. Tell me.
This is an asset. This is, honestly, this is an asset. What we are hearing from you, I can see Miriam of BBC with a smile on the top, wishing like...
Okay. A little smile is not bad. Good.
This is an asset. One more thing, before I ask this, I've missed two people that I really wanted them to be here. One was from Mombasa Roots, but maybe they've got some other commitments. Royal Albert Hall, Mr. Sal Davis. I have always wanted to do something at the Royal Albert Hall, to organize an event. I have tried, and I'm still trying. I have not. I went to Royal Albert Hall, I think in 2018 or 2019. My daughter got an invite and gave us an invite to go, myself, my wife, my daughter-in-law, and my other daughter. And I was over the moon to be in the audience at Royal Albert Hall to watch something. And when I read your profile and listened to you with Jeff Koinange, when you said you have performed at Royal Albert Hall, I said, oh my God. Tell me about your Royal Albert Hall experience.
Please don't be too impressed with that, because I tell you, I was only one of the singers that went to perform there. It was a Commonwealth show, countries of Commonwealth. And I was invited. And I sang in that. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? It looks like I
can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. So don't be impressed with that, because I was only among the singers at the Royal. Even Paul Robeson, who was one of the biggest, was invited for that show. So, and I did a song actually. It was an American song. Water boy, where are you hiding? If you don't come, I'm gonna call your mommy. There ain't no hammer this side of the mountain. This is a slave song. And I wanted to do that because Paul Robeson was big. And I wanted to do that song. It's called Water Boy. I tell you, for me, it brought down the house a little bit. It was, you know, that much. But, and here's a guy from Africa singing a slave song from America, you know, and that was very impressive. That, for me, it broke me, it killed me, it was good.
That's what I was going to say. It's like listening to the early African Americans in the cotton fields, and the voice. Did you record that song?
No, never did. That was only an impromptu thing that I wanted to do because they asked me, Sal, what do you want to sing? I said, I want to do a song from America. It's a slave song, and it's called Water Boy. Oh, it was really, really good for me. Maybe it may not be good for anybody else, but for me, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, let's talk about the heads of states you have performed for and those you have composed songs for. I told of KK.
Kenneth Kaunda.
In fact,
KK. He was a friend, and that also came. that came by. A friend of mine called Vernon Mwanga was the foreign minister. I was with him in New York because he was one of the youngest ambassadors at the United Nations.
Yeah.
His name is Vernon Mwanga. Now, he was getting married in Zambia later, a long time. And he said, Sal, I want to invite you. But listen, KK will be in the audience. And please, I want you to perform for me, and I want you to come with a song. He was a friend. He was a very, very good friend. So I sat down and I thought of KK, Kenneth Kaunda, KK, Kenneth Kaunda, KK, Kenneth Kaunda, a man of personality, a man of distinction, courageous man. He's a brilliant man. His name is KK, Kenneth. That song, I tell you, moved mountain in Zambia. It moved mountain. KK himself stood up, and every time he came, KK, Kenneth Kaunda, and he himself was standing with his hanky, and we became friends. Let me tell you, Abdullah, when you become a performer, I don't know why, but they love to be talking to you, love to be listening to you. So I don't know, but KK and I played golf together. You know, in State House in Zambia, in Lusaka, there was a 9-hole golf course. And KK loved golf, and I played a lot of golf. So we played golf a lot. It's funny. Here was a musician, and here was a president. And they were good friends. And every time he would say, my friend Sal Davis.
Same relationship you had, or I think a better relationship you had with the late Sultan Qaboos of Oman.
Yeah, Qaboos was a different sort of thing. I went in 1974 to Oman. And then one of the ministers there, a friend of mine, Salim Ghazali, I knew him well. I knew the family well. His father, Ghazali, was in Mombasa for a long time, and he was a friend of my father, his father. So I became, and he said, Sal, I want you to come and meet His Majesty, Sultan Qaboos. Who would refuse? I said, listen, it'd be a pleasure. So I went to meet him, but now let me tell you, there's a secret here. Because, again, I had to write a song for him. Sultan, Your Majesty, Sultan, Your Majesty, if you want to be happy, you must love Qaboos. You want to be happy, you must love Qaboos. A man of personality, courageous man. People of Oman love Qaboos. He brought you freedom and prosperity. His name is Qaboos Sultan. And that also became a kind of a song that made me friendly with Sultan Qaboos. But that's the way it goes.
Oh, your morning light never looked so well. On the day that I left you, I made a mistake, I could tell. When a southern breeze gave a last embrace, I was caught on the tide that was rushing from place to place. Back in Dubai,
makini akile ni ndugu wawili, moyo sende mbali, tizama lako